Hey guys, how's it going? Solo back at it with another daily update video. Coming at you early again. The market just closed and it was a pretty good day in the market up until about mid-afternoon when a presidential press conference started. And I kid you not, because me and a bunch of other people in the Discord server were watching this market, playing the market all day long. And the moment this presser started, the market overall just started tanking. So for that 30, 45 minutes, forever how long that presser went on, the market just slowly sold off. And so in the beginning of the day, we were looking pretty good because me and a couple of the members in the Discord server were able to open up some positions in the morning because we had a little bit of a dip down, but we quickly recovered. So we were all actually looking pretty good on our positions that we had just opened this morning. But then as soon as this presser started, the market started dipping right back down to where we were at the morning, and we basically erased any sort of intraday gains. And at least right now, I did open up another position today, and if you looked at the thumbnail, you can probably already guess what it is. But I was looking pretty good. I was already profitable by about, I believe, $12 or so as the day went on. But at the end of the day, the option premium is pretty much right back where I sold it for. So I'm pretty much net zero for the day because the market sold off. And unfortunately, after the presser, the market just wasn't able to really recover. I was hoping that once the presser ended, the market would recover back to where we were pre-presser, but unfortunately it just didn't happen. So maybe we'll get a rally after hours and pre-market tomorrow morning, and hopefully we can end the week on a green note going into the weekend. But as you can see on the board, a lot of kind of just flatness, and that's because a lot of the gains from the morning were erased by this presser. Big tech, right? Amazon, Google, Facebook, pretty much flat. Apple still up almost 2%. Look at the semis. I gotta tell you, I don't know what they're doing to Micron here, but Micron is down another almost 5%, down to 46. At some point, the beatdown on Micron has to stop. So the real question is, when is the bottom and when would be the best time to open up some cash secured puts? Because Micron is just taking a beating. Let's take a look at the TradingView chart here. So if you watched my video from last night, I mentioned that it's kind of hovering around this trend line that I had drawn, and that we were going to have to see whether it's going to bounce off it and then trade higher, or it's going to break below it. And we kind of got our answer today because, pretty much all day, even before the presser, Micron was just selling off slowly. Let's just take a look at the daily chart on Robinhood here. And as you can see, we opened up red. We opened up on Micron down almost 2.9% and then just slowly basically trailed off all day long, and we ended up closing down, like I said, almost 5%. So the crazy thing is not only did it break past this trend line, so at this point, if you believe in technical analysis and trend lines, this is no longer a line of support, it's now a line of resistance. And not only that, but it also broke past this Fibonacci retracement line, which is actually the 50% Fibonacci level. So it broke the trend line that I drew. It also broke past this Fibonacci level. So at this point, it seems that all bets are off. Are we going to trade now between low 40s and kind of mid 40s? I don't know. Hopefully Micron recovers tomorrow back up above this trend line, so it trades between the kind of mid 40s to low 50s maybe. But we'll have to see, because at some point, if Micron continues to sell off, and as long as I know, for no good reason, because I don't know of any bad news that have come out on Micron. The squeeze indicator is showing bearish sentiment. The RSI indicator is showing that it is oversold, but you can see it's been oversold for quite some time in the past few trading days. So I'm not quite sure why, especially since the semiconductor sector has been doing very well as a whole sector overall. But if this continues, I'm going to keep an eye on kind of where these levels are, because basically peak illness, Micron dropped to a low of about $32. And then kind of the next down point was around 39, then 41, then 42. Right now we're trading at 46. So at some point, something here has got to be a support level for Micron. And if that's really the case, then that would be a great point to sell a cash secured put on, in my opinion. Obviously not financial advice, but the goal when you sell a cash secured put is to time it as best you can for the bottom, so then that when the stock rallies and goes back up, your cash good put will expire worthless and you'll collect max profit. I mean, that's the ideal scenario. But yeah, I mean, they're actually just beating down Micron, and I don't know, and I don't understand why. I don't know what I'm missing. But AMD also had another great day today, considering all things that happened, because AMD pretty much traded flat. It didn't really sell off that much like the market did. So this initial dip here in the morning is when I got in on my new option. So I opened up a new put on AMD, not expiring tomorrow, but expiring the following week. And I sold it at the $73 strike price. And I sold it for $35 in premium. So that was I was looking pretty good because I sold it right here near the dip, and then it rallied right back, traded sideways for a little bit. Yes, it dipped below a little bit, but not down to where I was when I initially sold the contract. So I was profitable all day long. And then right around here, around 1 o'clock, 1:30, is when the presser started. As you can see, kind of rallied a little bit, but then immediately came back down and then traded sideways. So I got to tell you that, I didn't watch the presser all the way through, but whatever they were talking about, the market just did not like it. So that was the put I opened up. Let's just take a look at where it's trading at on Robinhood at the end of the day. So again, at the time I sold the put, AMD was trading at about $83. So I thought a $10 gap or a $10 buffer between 83 and my strike at 73 was fine for me. And as you can see right now, this is actually for this Friday. So I'm going to change it to next Friday because that's the put I sold. You can see the $73 put has about an 89% chance of probability, 90% if you round up. And it's trading for $36. So it's right back at where I sold it. So I'm kind of bummed about that. But again, I'm not too worried because I still have about $8 or $9 of buffer between where the stock is currently at 81.80 and the strike price at 73. So I'm not too concerned about it. And like I said, at the time, if we want to do a return on risk calculation, so I sold it for $35 and I put up $7,300 in collateral. So the return on risk wasn't bad. It was actually a little over 0.4%, almost 0.5%. So I know I like to do at least a 0.4% per week. So I gave it a little bit of extra juice because I have all next week plus essentially 2 trading days this week. That's why I went with 0.5. And I'm comfortable with this position. AMD's kind of been trading flat for the past week or so, not a lot of big moves. As you can see, we started the week around 85s. We closed today around 82s. So I'm not too worried that AMD is going to sell off by about $10 in a week unless the whole market sells off. But we'll just have to keep an eye on it. And like I said, I'm bullish on AMD long term. So if I end up bag holding 100 shares of AMD, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Obviously, I would just sell covered calls on it. But let's just take a look. We can look at the max pain, and there's something really interesting about the max pain on AMD. So for the options expiring tomorrow on AMD, the max pain is at $80. You can see right here. But obviously my put is for the following week. So I wanted to see what the max pain was, and it's actually very odd because the max pain is $55, much lower than where my strike is. And I think that's because you can see, look at the call volume on AMD for next Friday compared to the put volume. The call to put ratio is very high. So yes, I mean, some of these calls could be covered calls that people are selling as hedges because you don't know if they're buys or if they're sells. But I think overall, this is probably a bunch of bullish sentiment on AMD. That's probably what all these calls are. And that's probably why the max pain is so low, because it doesn't really make sense. So I'm feeling even better about my put option, because if people are that bullish on AMD for next Friday, then I should be able to collect max profit hopefully on my cash good put on AMD. I'm pretty happy about that. Let's just take a look at the overall graph here on AMD. So as you can see, it had that huge run up the past few weeks, did come back down to earth a little bit, then kind of jumped back up again. We're still trading a little bit higher than I would have liked. I mean, I would love to own AMD right now in the 60s. I think that would be a bargain. And like I said, we still have these gaps here to fill, kind of within the low 70s and also the low 60s, if you believe that these gaps are going to get filled. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with AMD moving forward. But, take a look at DraftKings. I know I made that video a while back, but I think I might end up eating my words because DraftKings actually ended up closing today at $36. Now, its earnings are tomorrow morning before the market opens, so we'll see what happens with DraftKings. And as of right now, the NFL hasn't canceled their season yet, so things are looking pretty good right now for DraftKings. It is showing overbought on the RSI curve, However, the squeeze metrics indicator is showing bullish sentiment and is trading above the Ichimoku cloud, which is again another bullish indication. So, there was a commenter in my YouTube channel that posted that a 32 or 33 strike DraftKings option, if you sold a put at those strikes, you'd probably be okay. And I'll admit, I was skeptical, but he's looking like he's accurate right now, because the 32 or 33 strike put, if you had sold that early in the week, there were some good premiums on it, and you're looking pretty secure right now. And honestly, if you didn't want to play earnings, you probably would have been able to sell it before the market closed today for a profit. So if you had DraftKings options, let me know down below. Also, silver did really well today. I mean, silver got beaten down the past 2 days, but it really rallied pretty well today. I mean, silver was up at close 8.7%, but there was a time during the trading day where I think it was up a little over 9%. So I know some of the people on my Discord server had options open on silver, so hopefully you recovered some of your premium, or your profit, I should say. But yeah, that was my trading day and my trading week so far. I am completely tapped out between my space puts and my AMD put that I opened today. So if you don't remember, I opened a couple of meme plays on Virgin Galactic. I sold puts. I actually sold 15 puts, $20,000 worth of puts on Virgin Galactic at the 1350 strike price. So that's all the way down here. As you can see, I mean, Virgin Galactic actually rallied a little bit today. It was up as much as 5% today. Let's just take a look at the chart on Robinhood so we can look at the daily chart. And you can see, it took off. I mean, from the moment the market opened here, it just kind of rallied all day long. And then, as I mentioned before, this 1 o'clock, 1:30 time period is where the press conference started. And then it slowly dipped after that. I mean, I think if we didn't have that press conference, AMD probably would have gotten to the 20s at least. But if you don't remember from my prior videos, I own 200 shares of Virgin Galactic at the $19 cost basis. So currently, since Virgin Galactic closed at $18.77, I'm actually down a little bit of money, because I'm down $19 per share, which is what I paid, minus $18.77 if you don't account for my premium that I collected. So I'm down about 23 cents per share times 200 shares. That's $46. Not the end of the world. I have not sold any covered calls on it because I feel like Virgin Galactic is just itching to explode to the upside. So I don't want to cap my max gains by selling a covered call. I looked at selling a covered call today. If I wanted to sell one for tomorrow, their premium was about $3, $4 if I wanted to go to like the 23 strike. And, for an extra $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, it really wasn't worth it to cap my gains, because, with my luck, Virgin Galactic might explode to $25 tomorrow and I'd have a covered call on at 23. And so I basically just capped my gains. So it really didn't make sense. It really wasn't worth the risk of capping my gains. I'm really hoping Virgin Galactic does explode back up to the maybe low 20s, like 22, 23, 24. Because then for every dollar Virgin Galactic goes up, I basically make $200, because my cost basis is 19 and I own 200 shares. So if I can sell out shares flat out this week, or maybe sometime next week, for a couple $100 in profit, I will gladly take that. I mean, right now, my 1350 puts are basically worthless, so I'm going to ride them out till expiration tomorrow just to collect max profit. As you can see, they're all the way down here. Has a 98.5% chance of profitability. They're trading for a penny because they can't trade for anything less. So I'm just going to ride them out for max profit, which will be roughly $40 for the week. So, hey, why not? It's a free $40 pretty much, so I'll take it. Better than losing money. So that's my trading day. That's my trading week. Hopefully my space options will ride to max profit tomorrow. Hopefully my AMD put will ride to max profit next Friday. I am completely tapped out right now on my account. I don't have any more collateral available to open up any new positions. So at this point, I'm just going to watch the market for fun and see what happens. If you're not in the Discord channel already, you're kind of missing out right now. The days are getting close to when we're going to a paid-only server, so make sure you get in now for free if you want to check it out. We have almost 300 members in there already, and we are most active during market trading hours. But if you're not able to be in there during market hours, that's okay too, because we're still pretty active after hours, especially right after the market closes, and especially now because it's earnings season. So if you're not in there already, the link is in the description below. Make sure you get in there. As always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the Discord server or leave them in the YouTube comments below. And as always, happy trading.